Hey everyone. So I am coming to you live today from Houston, Texas, and the Houstonian Club, whatever this resort is called. And tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about financial literacy and how you're articulating different learnings about finances to your young people. Quite often, as parents, people don't share the depth of information that needs to be shared with their young people with regards to finances. We'll teach our kids, oh, save, 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 save. Not really giving them an understanding as to why they're saving, what they're saving for, what happens when something comes up and you're attempting to save, but then you use money, how you take money and make it multiply, because quite often that is not what we're teaching in finance or financial literacy to our young people. It's all about save, save, save. And we're not teaching them about real estate, why real estate is an asset, how it can be utilized as an asset, how do we grow those assets, how do we build generational wealth. These are not conversations that we're having with our children on an everyday basis for most of the population here in the US. For those of you that are in the rest of the world, please do leave a comment. Tell us what you're doing. If you're doing things differently. Do you, outside of the USA, actually have schools that educate your children? Is your fundamental K through 12 system educating your children on finances? For those of you homeschool families, wherever you are in the world, what is the conversation that you're having with your littles about money and resources? I know for us, we talk to our son every day about money, wealth, maintaining it, maintaining assets, being able to acquire assets, how you acquire assets, what assets you acquire at what time, and what's required of those things. And normally it's a hands-off conversation. Parents do not have these conversations. They're not talking about it. And as a result, you have young people that graduate from school, they're leaving high school, and then all of a sudden, if you have not provided them with the resources to educate themselves, then the very first thing they do is they go put themselves in tons of debt to get an education, hoping that that education will pay off, and then they'll be able to pay off that debt. But have you explained to them what that debt looks like over a period of time if you haven't, put aside the resources for them? And if you haven't put aside the resources for them, why and why not? Have the conversation with your children about that as well, so that they can understand what it looks like for you and what it should look like potentially in the future for them when they become parents. Another thing about young people coming out of high school, they're not really aware of how to take their income and be able to multiply that income, not just putting it in a savings account with 1% interest and thinking that's going to do something. Now we have cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of knowledge that has to be shared, from those of us who understand cryptocurrency and so on and so forth, and share it with our young people. There is the aspect of managing debt, what that looks like, why it's not good, to having the mindset of paying for things up front, and making wise financial decisions. These are conversations that should be had near daily, because finances are like one of the most important things you can do as an adult, to understand and manage your relationship with money. And many people have poor relationships with money, extremely poor relationships with money, hand to mouth, hand to mouth. That's how it works. But it's important that we start opening up the dialogue. It may be uncomfortable for some people. Open it up anyway. The reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because as we're here visiting and we're looking for a new place to live and we're looking for new office space and so on and so forth, our son asks a lot of questions. And I thought, but we have very in-depth conversations with him about money and have for many years. I mean, he's only 8, but we still have the conversations. And the reason for that is because once he becomes comfortable with understanding how money works, how not to spend it on the internet on random games and wasting money out that way, and understanding how when you spend money, you have to understand how you're going to bring it back and replicate it. And quite often our young people have a disconnect with money, especially now when so much of our dollars are spent electronically, and kids don't understand. It's like, oh, well, they never had it in their hands, and so when they pay it out to a game or to whatever it is online, they have no concept or understanding of that money and how it's made, because it's just us giving it to them. But it's really extremely important that we share with our young people how to make money from their ideas, not just from going to work for others, from their own ideas, how that translates into resources, and those resources being multiplied. And so, like I said, I just wanted to come on today, have that brief conversation just to, spark your interest, get you interested in talking to your children about money and what that looks like, and about finance, about what that looks like, about debt, what that looks like, and how to be comfortable with it so that they can learn how to be comfortable with it. Even if it's uncomfortable for you, make it comfortable for them so that they can make wiser decisions about their life. And so if you have a comment, please do leave a comment below. I would love to see it, love to hear what you have to say. I know we're going to be sharing some financial literacy workbooks and things and everything with everybody, but I just want to come on here regardless and just share with you. Start having the conversation. Start having it today, because it can't be just a save conversation. We can't just tell our children, go save money. They don't even understand what they're saving it for. And like I said, putting it in a savings account is not going to help them multiply it. We have to have the intelligent conversations about how money works, how you multiply it, where you put it in investments, whatever those investments may be, and then also how to multiply it with their actualization of producing and not just being consumers. We cannot continue to raise generations of consumers. We need to raise generations of producers and creators. And so with that, I just wanted to come on and say that for tonight. I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. And I hope you guys start having these conversations. It's important. Alrighty, now I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Houston out.